which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. And with that, leading into item number 2, we'll officially call the meeting to order and begin with the roll call. Commissioner Clement,
Present.
Commissioner Couch,
Present.
Commissioner Echegon,
Here.
Commissioner Meek,
Present.
Commissioner Franklin,
Here.
and I'm here, Commissioner Day. And will the record reflect that Commissioner Brewer is not with us this evening? Right, then that takes us into item number 3, which is public comment. So just a bit of a preface to that. Public comment will be in accordance with the attached policy. This time is reserved for members of the audience to address the Planning Commission on items of interest that are not on the agenda and are within the subject matter jurisdiction of the commission. It is recommended that speakers limit their comments to 3 minutes each, and it is requested that no comments be made during this period on items on the agenda. The commission is prohibited by law from taking any action on matters discussed that are not on the agenda. Prior to addressing the commission, any handouts for commission will be provided to the commission secretary for distribution to the commission and appropriate staff. The public will have an opportunity to comment on items on the agenda once the item has been called and the chair opens the item to the public. So at this point, is there any public comment? All right, seeing none in the audience, were there any emails sent in or anyone on the call? Seeing none? None? Okay. All right, thank you. So this time we'll move into item number 4, which is the approval of the minutes from the regular meeting that was held on June 13th of 2022. If all the commissioners have had a chance to review the minutes, I'll entertain a motion at this time.
Mr. Chair, if there are no other comments, I move that we approve the minutes for our regular meeting held on June 13th, 2022.
All right, so I have a motion from Commissioner Clement,
Second.
and I have a second from Commissioner Mead. Commissioner Clement,
Aye.
Commissioner Mead,
Aye.
Commissioner Couch,
Aye.
Commissioner Echegon,
Aye.
Commissioner Franklin,
Aye.
and I vote aye as well. So the minutes pass. And number 5 is the report and recommendation. So the preface for this item is that a request by Lemoore Homes of California Incorporated to extend approval of vesting tentative subdivision map number 2017-01, Reverie Tract 920, and accompanying planning entitlements for 1 year, APN 021-570-001 and 021-560-001.
Good evening, Commissioners. Steve Brandt, City Planner. As the chair described, this is a request to extend the tentative map approval for vesting tentative map track 920 by Lemoore Homes. They have completed the final map and have actually built all the homes in the first phase. This is the site at the corner of Pampa-Ramona Road and Avenue 18¾ They have told us they are like weeks, just a couple weeks away from submitting the final map on the second phase, which is the final phase. But because the map's scheduled to expire August 14th, that's kind of pretty close. We said they should probably file an extension just in case. And so they've done this. And so we're recommending approval of the extension. It sounds like it's probably going to be the last extension. They'll have this final well before next year.
Thank you. So with that, is there any comments or questions from the commission?
Was there any reason that they did not have the map ready? Because if I remember right, when they filed for the extension last year, they said they were close.
They said they were closed last year too.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's been a few issues with it, some technical things, but It sounds like it's all been worked out now. So,
Recorded any date, they just didn't want it.
yeah,
They didn't want it.
just didn't want to be
They would
sure.
take that chance, yeah.
Just didn't want to take a chance because, yeah, because the law is pretty clear. It says when it expires, and the city's not allowed to do any
Right.
more action. So, so I think it's prudent to do this.
Right, and I know that this wasn't a public hearing item, but was there any questions or comments that came in from the public regarding this?
No, but the applicant's on that. The applicant's on the line. Jeff Holloway hasn't come.
Can you guys hear me? I'm still maybe a little COVID hot, so I couldn't come over there tonight. Yeah, like Steve said, we're very close to finalizing the second phase map and get this thing done. But like he said, we weren't sure if we could beat the horse to the finish line, so to speak, before the extension ran out. And we did have some few technical issues federally and state that we had to work out before we could get to this point. And we secured a grading permit for the property and it's out to bid now. And have the county working on the bond, the tax requirements so that we can get our map going and get this thing done. And then hopefully we won't have to have any more extensions. And I appreciate your time for this. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Right,
This project would then, this extension would pretty much finish this project in that locale, right? And
Yes, there's this would be the final phase of 920. That was a 2-phase map.
right,
And then, if you recall, you approved 930, which is north of it, but there's a 10-acre parcel in between. So,
any further discussion on that? No. If there's no further discussion or questions or comments, I'll entertain a motion on this item.
Now I'll make a motion to approve the 1-year extension of time for the Reverie Vesting tentative subdivision map number 2017-01, track 920, and the accompanying planning entitlements in accordance with resolution number 2022-07.
Right, so I have a motion by Commissioner Echegon
I'll second it.
and a second by Commissioner Franklin. Okay, Commissioner Echegon,
Aye.
Commissioner Franklin,
Aye.
Commissioner Clement,
Aye.
Commissioner Couch,
Aye.
Commissioner Mead.
Aye.
I vote aye as well. Okay, so that motion passes. Right.
Thank
And
you.
that takes us into item number 6, which is a public hearing item referring to tentative parcel map number 2022-01, a request by Hold My Beer LLC, with Daniel Kinney being the agent on this item, to divide 3.03 acres into 2 parcels that will both involve light industrial uses. The site is located at 1156 Commerce Way within the city of Lemoore, APN 024-051-017. The project is categorically exempt from the requirements of the California Environmental Quality Act, otherwise known as CEQA, per section 15315, class 15, minor land divisions.
thank you again, Steve Brandt. This is a parcel map request to divide it's a little over 3 acres located at the northeast corner of Commerce and Enterprise Drive. The site's vacant now, but you may recall that the Plan Commission approved a site plan in October 2021 for the construction of 2 industrial buildings. One would be a bottling plant, and was said to be warehouse space. The city council approved a project development agreement in July 2021 for the bottling plant to be a cannabis processing facility. So what they're asking for now is just to divide the site into two so that each building would be in its own, on its own parcel. They are, they're planning to record CCNRs so that each parcel would have access rights over across the other parcel. They're going to do shared trash pickup, shared landscaping maintenance. So they're going to operate it as one site, but it'll be owned. It can be owned separately, so it could be sold separately, or and it may be for financing purposes as well. So, so that's really what the parcel map is for, is to take. There's no changes to the site plan. It's right down the lines right between the two, and we just have some standard conditions for parcel maps that we're proposing and recommending approval.
Right, thank you. So before we dive into the public comment, or sorry, public hearing, is there any comments or questions from the commission?
I guess my only question, I'm sure you guys have already reviewed it though. I mean, ingress and egress would be good for dividing these parcels.
Yeah, because we really reviewed it during the site plan review. And because they're saying they're each going to provide each other with an access agreement. So the one will be able to drive across the other to get to either driveway. If that wasn't the case, then I might have some concerns. So we might have like asked about that. But really by having all of these shared things in place, it's going to operate as if it was one parcel.
So in the beginning, this, it was going to be one parcel, but it was going to be in two phases, correct?
I think what they originally said, they were going to build one building and then
And
build
then
the
come
other
back
building.
later with the
And that
other.
still may be the case.
It doesn't-
but
as
now
of
it'll-
right now, it could be something else.
Could be something else. They didn't say specifically why they're doing the parcel map, but speculation could be it's for financing purposes. They can get one loan on one building and a different loan on the other building.
It's still the same product that they're,
It's still the
Working
same site plan, the same building, the same plans.
At least for phase one,
Yes.
correct?
Between the two buildings, is there, so you're saying they're going to share it. Is there going to be a fence or a block wall or anything, or is that just showing the
Nope.
property line right there?
That's just the property line.
Okay, so
they
you can
won't-
drive between
You
those.
can drive between,
Yeah.
you can straddle it. when you're
Okay,
Driving.
so emergency vehicles can get right through there and everything. Okay,
Yeah,
And-
if they were proposing a fence, then again, we might have had. some
yeah, I might have an
concerns.
issue. Okay.
Right, any other questions or comments before taking it to public hearing? Nope, seeing none. All right, so I will open this up to public hearing at 7:21. Anyone on the line, or Mr. Kinney perhaps, or? Anyone from the audience care to comment or raise a question at this time? No? Okay. So we'll close the public hearing at 7:22. And bring the item back to the commission for further discussion or for a motion if one is presented.
I just have another question. So in the beginning, so the entire project was okayed for a cannabis infused drink, correct?
I believe the cannabis use is only for the south building
For phase one?
for phase one,
Okay.
yes.
That was my question, was would the second building or the second parcel.
the,
be-
my understanding, I
allowed to-
mean, it's in industrial zone. So the second building could be a cannabis use if the city council
They
approves
still have to
another
go through
project
that.
development agreement. But that has not been formally applied
Yeah.
for. I don't know.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions or comments? None? Okay, if there's no other questions or comments, I'll open the floor for a motion at this time.
I'll make a motion to adopt resolution number 2022 tag 08, approving tentative partial map number 2022 tag 01 in accordance with the findings and conditions in the resolution.
Okay, so I have a motion from Commissioner Franklin,
I'd like to second that motion.
and I have a second from Commissioner Couch. Okay, Commissioner Franklin,
Aye.
Commissioner Couch,
Aye.
Commissioner Clement,
Aye.
Commissioner Echegoon,
Aye.
Commissioner Mead,
Aye.
and I vote aye as well. So that one passes. Okay, and that takes us to the director's report, item number 7. So typically, for those who may be watching or
I'll do it.
just in a different capacity of audience, normally this would be where Nathan would step in and kind of give us an update as to what's going on. This evening, though, we have someone else who will be delivering the director's report, provided that there is one.
Yeah, we have a few things to share. I'll try to, if I miss one, Christy can point it out to me. So you'll recall that we've had a number of projects that needed annexation and a couple of them sphere of influence amendments. We also prepared a municipal services review that LAFCO has reviewed. So they're ready to take all those items to their July meeting, which is the 4th Wednesday this month. So we'll be at LAFCO with all of those items. So that includes the 2 sites being annexed for Peoples, the cannabis cultivation company, and then Lacey Ranch, the residential project. So big day at LAFCO for Lemoore on that, because we had the one annexation that the track 930, which I mentioned before for Lennar Homes, that was approved last month. Yeah, so that's what's happening on the annexation front. We're working on a site plan at the southwest corner of 19th and Bush, which would include a car wash, convenience store, and a restaurant. So that's good. So we're still working out the details of the site plan review, and then that will come to you maybe next month. We'll see. If not, then probably the month after that. And which one? Oh, Brett Fugman, if you remember, he had the site at 41 and Hanford Armona Road. It was part commercial, part multifamily. He's run into some issues. I don't know if we brought this up before. Discovered that the southerly, maybe 1/4, 1/3 of his site has soil that's so bad he can't build on it. So he's had to revise his site plan. It's potentially liquefaction soil. So he's making some changes. That's delayed him, and his map is about to expire. So he'll probably be here next month with an extension on that map. So he is moving forward, but yeah, he's run into some difficulties because of the soils. And the Lennar project out by the college is getting approved. I think they're doing grading. So the first phase of that is going good. Chrissy and I spent a lot of time figuring out all the addresses for those lots, because there's nothing out there to compare addresses to. So, so that was a nice math challenge for
I'd
us.
like to thank Steve for that.
That was a nice math challenge. And where Nathan is tonight? Yeah, so Nathan is at the County Planning Commission meeting, which is also tonight, happening right now. And so that is for the plant that's proposed out here at 41 and 198 on a county use permit. And they're doing beef harvesting. So it started out that there was going to be the first plan showed a outdoor cattle pens, and not only did the city object to that, but a number of other agencies objected to that. And so the plan was changed. Everything is supposed to be indoors now. And so that use permits before the planning commission tonight. So Nathan's going there to speak on behalf of the city.
The last meeting, city manager mentioned discussions about the south, I guess, would be of West Hills for this wrestling.
Oh, yes.
What's the status of that? Is there any change or?
I don't think anything's changed. I think, is there a meeting coming up soon about that in a few weeks? Maybe not. I don't remember. No, I don't think we have anything new to talk about that right now, but
Steve, can you refresh me on that? What's going on in the south?
the one he's mentioning?
Yeah.
There's a wrestling group. They do, they're tied in with the Olympic wrestling committees. And they would like a large facility in the valley somewhere. And they've got their eye on the area next to West Hills College as a site. They bring in a lot of tournaments. We're thinking that if this happens, we'll probably get a few more hotels coming in because of the demand. So it could be a really good project for Lemoore.
Would they use West Hills Arena as well? Or is there any talk
They
about
might share some of the facilities, but they're going to build their own facility.
Reason I mentioned that, when I was the athletic director, we had the state championship and they built the arena. So there's a lot of interest, for the wrestling community, let alone what they're.
Oh,
thinking about.
and I think, I mean, even if they do build their own facility, having another facility
Oh, sure.
next door
Yeah.
opens the door for all
Oh, of
kinds of
course. Yeah.
large events and things. So. So yeah, so that's a possibility. We've had some interest in some sites for more subdivision activity. Nothing that's been formally submitted yet. What's that? Wathen? Yeah, so that's a site. We're starting to work with Wathen Castanos on the site that is directly east of the high school.
East of the high school.
Yeah, there's one vacant site between the
Oh,
high
okay,
school and the neighborhoods.
Steve,
That's about it.
can I ask you real quick about Leonard? Do they have any projection on when the build out will take place
For which one? They've got 3 neighborhoods.
on east of the campus, West Hills campus?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know what their projection is. Yeah,
Yeah, they're putting some infrastructure there. Just wondered. It's moving kind of slow, but at least it's moving.
mhm. What they try to do, I know because I was in the home building industries, once they start, they want to consistently do whatever they decide to do, 3 new homes a month, 4 new homes a month, whatever they're doing, because it keeps their subcontractors busy and not going to other jobs.
Any discussion about the water situation?
I am not up on the latest on the water situation. But we can find out and get back to you. That's just something I'm not paying attention to.
When
Ron,
we
what-
start looking at subdivisions of 100+ units or more, got to serve them with water somehow.
Yes.
And, it's just a normal thing. And there's a lot going on in Southern California and other areas that are pretty drastic. How's that going to impact us with our water table levels and all of that? Or is that even under consideration?
Well, I know we're in a groundwater sustainability area, so that's more of a regional discussion. Because, most of our, I think, well, all of our water starts as groundwater. We've got the well fields out by the Kings River. So, so we have to pay attention to that. And we're looking for ways, I believe we're pretty close to getting approval for the cannabis uses to use treated water from the treatment plant. And I don't know beyond that, I don't know the details, but it sounds like it's an agreement where it's the cannabis growing with the treated water they would be used for creams and things like that, not oral use.
Steve, getting back to the sites, as Ron was alluding to for groundwater, has there been anything that the city's doing to know where there's possible locations? They done any type of testing?
For new wells?
Yes.
I don't know that they're looking at any new ones right now. They're just keeping the ones they've got going. That's my understanding. Well, you guys never grilled Judy this much.
Proposal, the proposal, the amount of housing that could be here takes a lot of water.
It does. And luckily, we did adopt a water master plan about a year ago, a sewer master plan, a storm drain master plan. So we have some big picture plans in place. We have to do I'm going blank on what it's called. We have to do a short-term plan for water every 5 years. It's usually Frank and Jeff Coert that are paying attention to that more than me.
Yeah.
They just tell me, yeah, we're good. Keep going.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments for Steve? All right, thank you so much.
All right.
Now we'll move into item number 8, the commissioner reports and / request. So this time, is there any reports or requests that any of the commissioners would like to put forward?
You did.
So seeing none, all right, so moving into our last item, which is the adjournment. Just a quick note that our regular meeting for the planning commission, our next regular meeting for the planning commission is scheduled for August 8th of 2022. And with that, I will call this meeting adjourned
just
at
Can I say one
7:35.
thing?
Yep.
It's great to see our colleague sitting over here you almost ran up that ramp. That's a good deal. Nice to see you back, Ron.
Thanks, Bob. It's good to be here.
I think that is an echoed sentiment amongst all the commissioners and staff from the city. And then also just another quick shout out to the dear woman that had to deal with him during that whole time of rehabilitation. So with that, I will call this meeting adjourned at 7:36. Thank you, everyone.